If you're into sports betting, BetOnline is where you should go to win money today. Whether it's live bets during games or futures for who you think will win the championship, BetOnline has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next big game, head on over to BetOnline and start playing today. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast. I'm your host, Polina Edmonds, and today on my podcast, I'm going to be analyzing the top 6 ladies from the Junior Grand Prix that just happened this past weekend in Slovakia. So without further ado, let's begin. So starting in number 6, we have Ava Marie Ziegler from the USA. Wow, this girl has so much power. She's got amazing presence on the ice. She's very aesthetic, very athletic, very strong, great dance ability. She's really connected to her music. She does a fantastic job of embodying the character of the program and within her choreography. She was a little shaky throughout her elements, however. For the combo, she needs more flow between the jumps to carry her through the second jump. Also, she really needs to work on fixing her lutch edge. It's inside right now, and that's going to hurt her score. She also lands with her hip open on her jumps, so instead of flowing in a straight line, she curves her landing, bringing the flow to a stop. Her spins need to also stay centered. She needs to work on the tension in her muscles to really execute those spins with control and speed. Her step sequence also had a few stumbles in her short. She really needs to stay into the ice and execute better edge control. She had a great flying sit spin position. Overall, great skating performance quality, movement, range. I'm really excited to watch her develop. For her free skate, she also had a great, strong program. I just love how she skates. She has such power and grace. Her choreography is intricate and beautiful. I loved her step sequence. However, she does need to be a little deeper edgewise during that footwork. Her jump technique needs some work on the landings as well. Again, opening up her hip and curving around a lot so she doesn't have enough flow. The inside edge on her lutz needs to be watched, but great spins. I would say she needs a little sharper and clearer positioning on the end of her final spin, but overall, beautiful skate, great job here. Next we have Shayon Kim from Korea. So she had a great short program. Her jumps were solid and performed eloquently. Excellent triple Lutz triple toe. I really like this program for her. She skates with such power, but is also gentle. I like her spins a lot too. She has wonderful positioning and speed. Really nice change foot flying sit spin. I'd like to see her accentuate her feet more. She lets the energy drop at her ankles. To give a fuller effect to her skating, she needs to point her toes and put that full extension in, let the energy move through her feet. I also want to see a little more connection to her music with her presence rather than just going through the motions. She has more spirit in her step sequence at the end of her program, and she needs to bring that same willingness to the rest of the program. She had a strong free skate. I loved how light and effortless her jumps looked. It's so refreshing to see. She has great technique. Her opening triple was awesome. She needs to hold on to the very end and not lose steam on that final combo. She also only had one triple combination, so she's going to need to add another if she wants to be competitive in this field. Her spins were pretty good. I'd like to see her develop a little more character within this program in particular. I want to see some emotion and meaning to her movement. I'd also like to see a little bit more willowness in her movements. Again, the energy needs to move through her feet. She needs to point her toes to give that fuller effect, but great job here. Next we have Mariia Zakharova. She's a strong, powerful skater. She's got an athletic style, great big jumps, nice transitions out of them. She does need to have her arms tucked into her body more in the air of her double axel. Her elbows are sticking out. That triple Lutz triple toe covered so much ice and flowed so well. It was awesome. Best of the event. While she definitely has a commanding presence on the ice, I'd like to see her work on softening her back. She's pretty stiff there and relies heavily on a lot of arm movements for her choreography. And to truly embody Latin music, she needs to move her body, not just her arms. Right now, she leans forward a lot and jerks her body forward and backward rather than softening and arching her back to the music. She was rushing a little bit through her choreography as well, and I'd like to see more variety in that movement. She kind of does the same 2 or 3 arm positions the entire program. Her spins also need some work on maintaining speed. She loses steam by the end of her spins. Her flying sit spin also needs some work on having a smooth landing in one motion. Her free skate, she has amazing power. She fell on her quad attempt, but the rest of the program was strong. Her spins, I thought, were stronger in this program as well. She had better control with the speed. She's got great presence and choreography in this program. I'd like to see her soften some of her lines and change up the constant power arms in her choreography. Overall, there isn't really any complete memorable choreography that sticks with you when the program's finished, so I think that's something that she should work on, but great skate overall. Next we have Adelia Petrosian. Her short program, great skate. I really like her skating. I liked her program. There was a lot of pause in her movements. She filled the ice with such presence in those moments. She had great choreography. She's very memorable to watch. Great posture, nice strong jumps. I'd like to see continuous flow on the landing of her triple, however. Her spins need to stay centered. She needs more control in those. She also needs to work on her flying sit spin. She definitely needs more height to fully tuck and land in one smooth motion rather than being choppy on the landing. Her inside edge camel as well in her combo spin also needs a deeper edge so that she actually makes circles as she spins. She had an awesome free skate. I really, really like her skating. I love how she utilizes pauses in her movements and really brings the energy in as she skates. I thought she had great transitions and great posture. She landed a quad toe, hung on to that landing, and then she landed the rest of her jumps too. But she's a little uncentered in the air. She needs to correct that, and then she'll land more smoothly. She had good spins. She needs to work on finding her center immediately when she starts her spin though, rather than taking a full rotation to find it. I do really, really like her skating style. I think she has the greatest potential. This program, though, there weren't really any memorable movements to really stick with you. So she also needs to develop some type of significant choreography within this program.
So I don't know if you've heard, but apparently former NBA player Lamar Odom may be returning to professional basketball in Spain soon. I was reading a press release about how he started taking a pH balancing alkaline supplement called Balance 7, and that's what has helped him bounce back from his hospitalization in 2015. He even said, "I have an enormous amount of energy, which is good for me. It's important when working out. I always need energy to level up." Couldn't agree with that more, Lamar. After watching him fight Aaron Carter in July's celebrity boxing match, I think it's safe to say that Balance 7 is working for him. Cool thing is, we've got a promotion running with Balance 7 right now, where if you go to their website, balance7.com, and use the code BELIEVE at checkout, you'll receive a free 4-ounce bottle of My Smooth Skin with any purchase of Balance 7 products. That product retails at $13.99, so I'd say it's worth it. Again, head to balance7.com and use the code BELIEVE at checkout and get in on the promotion. I know I will. If it worked for him, it can work for you too.
Next we have Sofia Muravieva. She had a really nice, strong, short program. Good, correct edges on both flip and lutz. That was great to see. She needs to stay centered in the air and not rotate at an angle, but she had pretty good execution. I'd like to see her bend her knee more on her landings and flow rather than land with a really high free leg. For her choreography, I thought there were some great moments, but there was so much going on, it seemed very rushed. She didn't give any time to pause and really create presence with slower movements. Everything was pretty fast and jerky. I felt like she was really nervous as she skated. I'd like to see more usage of pauses with the music and more gentle arms. She also starts the program looking down, and I think she needs to look up to really create a fuller effect as she starts. Her back is a little stiff as well. She needs to move her arms from her back shoulder blades, arching constantly and creating softer full range movement. I really liked her spins. They were pretty aesthetic with a great center, strong speed. She had a good 90-degree angle in the air on her flying sit spin. That was a great fly. She does need to work on landing in one flow though. She kind of cuts the flow with a jerky landing and then sits. So she needs a little bit more height on her jump to allow her the proper timing to fully tuck and land softly. She had a good, strong free skate. Her opening choreography had a lot of 2-foot skating though. I think she needs to work on using more 1-foot skating skills. A lot of arm movements in this program as well. I wish she would slow down and give some time to pause and really develop presence and energy on the ice. She does a really good job of using full energy in her choreography throughout the program, but she needs to soften her back. It's really stiff and her arms move without her shoulder blades. Her elbows also stick out on her jumps, and she needs to tighten them in the air to create a more aesthetic line in the air, and also she's just going to spin faster in that way. Her triple also has a major break leaning forward in between jumps, so she needs to work on keeping her back straight, and that's also going to help her with the flow. Great spins, pretty good program. Again, I'd like to see a little bit more unique, memorable choreography within the program so that when she finishes and you look back on it, there's something that you remember, and I just didn't quite have that with her. Next we have Veronika Zhilina. She has proper edges on the flip and lutz, which is great. Her height on her jumps are amazing. The center is great and her tight air position is awesome. I think she needs to perform a little more during her program. She doesn't really seem to get into her choreography until the end during her step sequence. Her choreography was also kind of plain to me throughout most of the program. She has great posture and beautiful skating, but she could use more transitions and turns throughout the program, be sharper with her movements. She has amazing flexibility, but flexibility isn't edge control and skating skills, so I think that's something that she needs to focus on. I loved her step sequence. It had some unique choreography in it, and I could tell she was really enjoying it. She needs to tuck more on her flying sit spin. She's not quite reaching 90 degrees in the air, so it's not really a flying sit. Her cannonball outside edge is also not spinning correctly. She needs to make real circles on the ice and not just stay in one spot. So she's going to need a deeper outside edge. She also needs to stay centered and not travel during her hair cutter at the end. And one thing that also bugged me a little bit was her lack of landing positions after her spins. It felt very unfinished to just step out of the spin without a final note. But overall, I loved seeing her use a character in a program. She seemed like she was having fun. So great, strong skate. She has a lot of potential. She did a lot in her free skate. She landed 3 quads, which is very commendable. However, they all had a very big crunch to the landing, and I worry about her ankles and knees, especially as she's only 13. Her other jumps had great executed landings. She really finished the jumps. They looked good. Love Story as a music choice. I didn't quite think that she could handle this music. Love Story is a romantic and emotional piece to use. I don't think it's appropriate as a 13-year-old to use it because she cannot emit those emotional feelings throughout her program. There isn't a lot to her choreography. I'd like to see more movements and edges rather than her just racing jump to jump. I think she needs to pick something that she can really thrive in. Love Story just doesn't quite fit her skating at this stage in time. She's really young, so I think she needs something a little bit more peppy, or if she's going to use soft music, maybe use some type of lyrical music that isn't a romantic piece from a big movie. Her flying sit spin, she needs to land in one spot. She travels, so that's something that she needs to work on. And her skating is very, very pretty. She has a lot of potential. I do want to see her develop that second mark as she progresses. And as she does that, she really needs to fix her crossovers. She's really limping them. Crossovers are the basic backbone of so many different skating moves, so she needs to really work on having those wide crossovers to have that full quality effect to her skating. But great job. Great win here. I'm excited to see her continue. And last but not least, highlighting our other American skater, Kaelin. She is such a great girl. She did a nice short program. She stayed strong throughout the program and landed everything. She's very pleasant to watch. She has a good looking style on the ice. I will say that I think she needs to work on intention in her movements. She kind of rushes through her choreography for me. I think she needs to hold her positions a little longer and stay present. She has soft arms, and I think her choreography needs to utilize that a little more. It's not quite doing it for me at this moment. She limps her crossovers as well, so she needs to work on the basic wide crossovers to generate more speed as she covers the ice. She has the balletic look, but I'd like to see her be a little softer with her movements. In the footwork, she has a lot of arm movements that don't go through the proper balletic positions, giving it more of a flailing look rather than true balletic movements. This is something she can work on with a ballet teacher, being very intentional with all her arm placements to give it authenticity, which I think is really important if you're going to use music like this. Her jumps she hung on to, which shows great fighting spirit. She does land very forward, causing her flow to stop. She needs to practice jumping with her back straight and not break line as she lands. This is going to help her create more flow. Her spins were pretty good. The flying sit definitely needs some work on proper spin positioning in the air. She needs to tuck higher and get her knees to touch in the air. What she's doing right now isn't really a flying sit. She needs to be deeper in her edges on her step sequence as well. Just more edge control. She should also turn her knee out on her side spin during her layback. That's going to give it a more aesthetic position. Right now it's a little bit turned inwards and downwards. But great potential. I'm excited to see her. For the free skate, wow, she attempted 2 quads. She needs to work on the clean quality of these jumps if she's going to put them in the program, but great effort. I would like to see her develop character in this program. She doesn't seem to embody what the music is. She kind of just skates through it. So I'd like to see her work on connecting with it more, connecting with both the music and the audience. Her flying camel is pretty slow. She needs to work on the speed of that. And she doesn't quite cover the ice. She has a lot of crossovers, but she doesn't seem to move with all of them. So again, with her practicing more wide crossover skills, more power in those is going to help her. She also needs a little bit tighter of a snap in her jumps. Her knees are a little open. That's going to help her with both the speed of rotation and also just the aesthetic of the look. Great potential. It was awesome seeing a young American skater trying quads and being up there in the international field with this type of content. I'm really excited to watch her. Overall, on this event, I'd say the top 5 or 6 girls had kind of plain programs that weren't super memorable for me. I think they all need to work on developing character in their programs, really enjoying the movement, connecting with the music and the audience to make their skating last in your head after they finish. They all need to work on their flying sit spins. And lastly, again, the points in this Junior Grand Prix are pretty large to me in comparison with the first Junior Grand Prix, so I'd like to see a little more consistency in the judging with scoring. But great job to all the ladies, and I'm really excited to watch the next Junior Grand Prix this upcoming week.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Please leave me a comment, leave me a review. I love hearing what you guys have to say. Follow me on my Instagram. That's where I'm promoting this. My username is @PaulinaEdmonds. And please DM me if you have any requests for my podcast, any interview requests, or if you yourself would like to come on and you have a fun skating story that you'd like to share. I'm always looking for new voices to feature, so please reach out to me. And stay tuned for my future podcast episodes. I release every Tuesday, and I can't wait to talk to you guys next week.